And we welcome you inside our Sportsnet LA studios. We are now 4 weeks removed from when Major League Baseball basically shut down the season for the time being, and almost 2 weeks removed from when we were supposed to see opening day at Dodger Stadium. And the guy who was supposed to, at least scheduled to start for the 9th time on opening day, Clayton Kershaw, is joining us right now from his home in Texas. And Clayton, these are obviously very uncertain times. What have these last 4 weeks been like for you, this spatial distancing, social distancing, physical distancing, and living in isolation without baseball?
Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? It's been different, obviously, for everybody. I think, just being home at this time of year is so strange for me. I'm never in Texas at this time, and I think it really hit home for me on opening day, or what was supposed to be opening day, and not being there. It's just, a lot of people are going through a lot of much more difficult things than not playing baseball. But, just for me not to be out there, it was sad. I just wanted to be out there and missed it. And, being home has its benefits. I'm getting to see my kiddos. Cooper's 2 months old now, so I'm getting to see him every day, which is awesome. But, I miss baseball just like everybody else. I want to be out there as soon as possible and, as soon as it's safe for everybody.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I look at the schedule every day just to see where you guys would have been, and I was doing the math, and had Dave Roberts been going with a 5-man rotation to start the season, Clayton, tonight would have been your night to pitch in St. Louis against the Cardinals. You would have been facing guys like Goldschmidt and Carpenter and Molina. Instead, you're in the backyard in Texas facing another slugger named Charlie Kershaw. So if you can, give us the scouting report on Charlie Kershaw. Is he a tough out? Have you found the holes in his swing yet?
Yeah, he's a low ball hitter. He likes he almost is like a Vladdy Guerrero right now. He likes the ball like on the bounce. We're kind of working on the soft toss deal. He's kind of got the tee down. So we're going to soft toss, and I got him with an aluminum bat, which is a little bit heavier for him. So just trying to figure out the timing. But yeah, for now, I'd say low ball hitter, contact guy, not a lot of power yet, but there's room for development.
Certainly room for development. And we saw the adorable picture you posted where Charlie is wearing the catcher's mask, and you said, what could go wrong? And I know he's a little too young yet to catch Dad, but do you see possibly catching in his future? What does he like to do? What position does he like?
He's just a big gear guy. He loves gear. So anything with gear, he's all in. Like batting glove. Like, it takes 20 minutes just to get ready to hit. He's got to get his helmet, batting gloves, cleats, jersey, uniform, and then by the time he's got it all on, he hits for 5 minutes, and then we move on. So catching's kind of the same way. He has all the gear now: chest protector, leggings, everything. And after Dad takes 20 minutes to put it on, he catches for like 5 minutes, and we move on.
That is funny. You got some gear too. You've got your glove there with you right now. But is he just baseball, baseball, baseball all the time? Is that what he is every day?
Yeah, we're getting into some other things right now. But yeah, I think baseball is definitely at the forefront. It's been fun just to see how much he loves it. I've been working out at home a lot now and kind of playing catch in the backyard. And I don't think he's really been around that much, like, while I do all that stuff. So it's actually really fun just to see him. He's paying attention, he's watching, he's just like following me around. And it's pretty cool. I don't ever want to push it on him, but he definitely loves it right now. So it's fun.
Well, we loved seeing the video that you guys posted, and the Dodgers posted it as well, kind of a day in the life of Clayton Kershaw. And you were talking about it. You're not used to being at home in Texas in the month of April, and Ellen's probably not used to having you around this much 24/7 during the baseball season. Your kid's obviously too young to truly understand what's going on in the world, but how much fun has it been for you to be around family as much as you have? That has got to be a silver lining, I imagine.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like I said, Cooper's like 2 months, a little over 2 months now. So just to get to be around him every day. And, as a baby, they grow so much. So, when you go on a road trip during the season, they come back after a week or 10 days, he changes so much. They change so much. So to kind of get to see that for these first, 3-4 months is going to be awesome. So that definitely is a silver lining. And you're right. You're getting to see him every day, getting to help him with whatever it may be, whether trying to do some school with Callie. I'm actually teaching Callie how to ride a bike right now, so that's been fun. And just stay-at-home dad life right now. It's great.
So when the kids, they finally go to sleep, Clayton, are you watching shows? Are you another one of those Tiger King guys like JT and even Stan Cast and Dave Roberts, or what are you guys doing?
I have not. I haven't succumbed to the Tiger King yet.
Good for
you.
I'm
getting some serious pressure. Everybody's talking about it, how entertaining it is. So I haven't given in yet, but another month of being home, we might be on it. I don't know.
Obviously, we wish we were watching you pitch tonight in St. Louis against the Cardinals, but what do you, as a baseball player and as a pitcher, Clayton, miss most about the game at times like this?
Yeah, it's a good perspective thing, if it's going to happen, just to be able to look back and realize, like, man, I really do love the pitching part of it. Like, everybody talks about when they retire, like, oh, I miss the guys, I miss the clubhouse, I just miss the baseball environment, which is true. Like, not seeing the guys and not being around them and being in a baseball environment, like, those are some friends that you'll never lose for your whole lifetime. But just the actual part of, like, preparing to pitch and pitch, and then those 4 days in between preparing for another start, I think that's been the hardest thing for me right now, is not really having an end date for this and not really knowing, like, the motivation to continue to keep going with your workouts and throwing is hard when you don't have, like, a reward at the end by getting to pitch that game. So that's definitely been eye-opening for me, realizing that I still have a love for it and still love being out there.
Yeah, we don't have a start date, as you mentioned, although the story did come out on Monday that Major League Baseball and the Players Association, at least they're having discussions about putting all 30 teams in Arizona and having everybody kind of isolate, sometimes maybe even isolate away from their families, no fans in the stands. We're hearing stories maybe not even having players in the dugout, that you would sit in the stands at least 6 feet apart away from each other. What comes to your mind when you hear this kind of proposal, at least these kind of discussions going on?
Well, I have two thoughts. One is, I think it's great, like you said, that we're trying to figure something out. Like, that's awesome. Continue to work together and figure it out. I will say that situation that was played out, I don't know who wrote the article or where it came from, is I just don't see that happening. Like, I'm not going to be away from my family and not see him for 4.5 months. Like, I just talked about how much Cooper changes, over 1 week. So to miss 4 months of his life right now, I'm just not going to do it. And there's a lot of other things that are just wrong with that proposal. But it's not to say that we can't go somewhere with it. It's just that there's a lot of things we're going to have to figure out before I go quarantine myself with my team for 4 months.
Right. And when Ross Stripling was on with us a couple of weeks ago, Clayton, he said that you and JT have kind of been leading the way when it comes to group discussions, group chats. I don't know if you guys are Zooming together and being able to connect face-to-face somewhat through that avenue, but what are the guys saying? Are they all in agreement with you about this proposal that we were hearing about on Monday? What are some of the guys saying?
Ultimately, it's going to be a union decision. Us as a union is going to have to come together, and JT has definitely been the most involved, and I try to stay up with it as best I can. But, like, it's going to come down. I can understand how, somebody maybe with no family, that maybe it's their first few years, would be okay with any type of baseball being played. And, like, I understand that. And just, from my personal vantage point, I think there's something special about Major League Baseball. And you start taking away layers of it, whether it be fans in the stands, big baseball stadiums in these big cities, travel, different things like that you take away. It takes away a little bit of the meaningfulness of the games. And I'm all for trying to figure out a solution. And I don't know if I'm in the minority or the majority as far as, wanting to figure out maybe a little bit better strategy. But, I understand the times that we're in and everybody trying to adapt. But all to say, I hope we can come to some type of solution fast, for sure, that I can actually see my family. That's my only request.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think most people would feel the same way. They want to be away from their families for 4 months just so they could play some baseball games, even as important as baseball is, and in the healing process, I think, for a lot of Americans once we get to that point. But Clayton, JT was with us last week, and he was saying at the time that he has not even been able to swing a bat as of yet since the last Cactus League game. And Ross Stripling was with us, and he said he was thinking about going to Target to buy a net so he could throw some actual pitches into a net because he doesn't have anyone who can catch him. So what are you able to do and maybe not able to do right now during this time in terms of preparation for whenever spring training 2.0 gets here?
Yeah, I'm very fortunate, guys. I can kind of do everything I want to do, which is awesome. I'm fortunate to where I have, like, a little gym here at the house that I can work out and pretty much do everything I would do during the season. And I have enough space in the backyard to where I can throw into a net, which I have, and really do all that as best you can. It's obviously not spring training with the guys, with your coaches and all that stuff, but whenever they tell us, I have definitely enough to be able to ramp up whenever that may be. So I'm thankful for that, for sure.
So at least for you, you're not going to be going back to square one when you were first arriving at Camelback Ranch when you guys do get this green light to return?
Yeah, no, I'll be ready. I think ready's a relative term, just depending on the season and where we're at and how ready I have to be. But I'm definitely not stopping. Just continuing. As you get older, I didn't even stop throwing this off season, so I've tried to ramp it down a little bit just because I don't want to play year-round baseball and pitch for 12 straight months. But definitely going to figure it out, and I'll be ready as anybody else is by when they tell us to be ready.
Yeah, so it sounds like, Clayton, we're going to have some kind of a compressed schedule. We could have less and less days off than you're accustomed to, and we might even see some 7-inning doubleheaders. At least that's a proposal that I heard being kicked around. And JT was with us last week, and he was saying, let's have a home run derby and not play beyond 10 innings. And that turned into a talk show, some talk show fodder, and also was gaining some steam on social media. Where do you come out on possibly playing 7-inning doubleheaders when need be a couple times a week, and also having a home run derby to decide some of these games?
Well, no matter what, I think we're going to have some expanded rosters, just some more guys on the team to cope with the doubleheader situations and things like that. I'm a traditionalist when it comes to baseball. I don't like to see a lot of change in the rules, especially. But then again, I also understand that this is going to be a season unlike any other, and hopefully the one that we never have to deal with again. So I'm open to changes that make it better for everybody to see more baseball. And 7-inning doubleheaders seem okay to me. The home run derby seems really entertaining, and I would watch it for sure. I would just rather end in a tie, honestly. Let's just kind of move on, end in a tie, and kind of add that to the season. If that's more important than extra innings. And I get JT's point, though. You can't burn a bullpen for 15 innings if you're not going to have the off days. If you're going to have doubleheaders, that makes complete sense for me. So I'm with him as far in trying to figure out something with the extra innings. And home run derby is definitely creative. But I think maybe we could just all go home and call it a tie and go on with the next one.
I've been saying that for a couple of years. They do that in football sometimes, and also in other sports and soccer. But I want to switch gears right now, Clayton, and talk about Kershaw's challenge for a moment. I know that last year you guys distributed about $2 million to different beneficiaries. And just last week you announced your beneficiaries for the 2020 year, and I think there are 7 of them, from Los Angeles to Texas to Africa and even the Dominican Republic. Is it too early to know, Clayton, whether this pandemic is going to have any effect on you guys being able to do all the same things that you've done in years past?
Well, it's not too early. It's definitely going to affect things. We've obviously had to postpone our ping pong event. It was going to be May 7th at Dodger Stadium. That's obviously not going to happen for the time being. And we also have a country music concert here in Dallas to raise money. And those are kind of our big fundraisers that we raise the most money for our beneficiaries. And, every year we make a commitment to these beneficiaries that we're going to raise X amount of dollars. And that's not going to change. We're going to continue to do the best we can to meet that need. It might take more than a year, especially this year. One of the main reasons for that is we're focusing, obviously like the rest of the country right now, on COVID relief, trying to figure out different organizations, which a lot of our beneficiaries are doing amazing things for COVID relief. JT's also really involved with the Dream Center and what they're doing and feeding so many people in the LA community. And so we're trying to meet the most pressing needs right now, obviously with COVID. But, as far as our beneficiaries go around the world, we're going to meet those allotments that we told them we were going to meet. It just might take, maybe a little more time this year for sure.
When you look back at how this started, and I was watching the video on the Kershaw's Challenge Instagram page the other day, are you amazed at what Kershaw's Challenge has become, Clayton, when you go back to when it started and you were originally helping that young girl named Hope in Africa?
It's so cool, man. It's just, it's I think, just God had a plan for it is the only way I can say it. And we set out to help one girl named Hope, and it turned into what it is today. And Ellen, has all the reason to be proud of what she's been able to accomplish through Kershaw's Challenge. And I can't explain it. To go from where it is now to, like you said earlier, being able to give over $2 million away to multiple beneficiaries all over the world. It's just a really cool thing that we hope to continue to do for a long time.
It is so great what you and Ellen and Kershaw's Challenge does for so many people here in Southern California, Clayton, Texas as well, and off to Africa as well. We cannot wait to see you on the field once again, but until we do, Clayton, please stay healthy and enjoy that time that you have right now with your 3 beautiful children and your wife, Ellen. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.